Step number 3, and I learned this from Thomas Daylauer, so I got to give him a shout out because we brought him in for our reset experience. We brought him in to do a master class for our Academy members, and he had a great hack for working out. Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, we're going to go through a topic that so many of you guys ask me about, which is, can you work out in a fasted state? So there's a lot of little nuance here because there's some really good ways to use the principles of fasting and combine with workouts, and there's some times when you're not going to want to work out in a fasted state. So in this video, I'll go through all those different pieces so that you can use fasting in a really beneficial way, not only to maximize your workout, but to help build muscle. So, and if you're new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. I am on a mission to teach 1 million people this year how to build a fasting lifestyle. So subscribe, hit the notification button, and as always, you guys, you are so awesome at sharing this info out. So if you resonate with this video, share it with a friend, and together we can get healthy. So happy you're here. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about. So I've got 3 different topics around fasting and working out that I feel like are really important to understand. The first one is what happens when you work out when you're fasted, because there's some magical chemical reactions that are happening. The second is how can you use fasting to build muscle? And then the third is if you work out in a fasted state, what should you eat after that? This is really exciting. So stick with me all the way through this. So the first principle I want to bring to your attention is that when you are working out in a fasted state, what happens is your blood sugar is probably already at its lowest. Let's say you do it in the morning. So the blood sugar is already pretty low. And if you haven't eaten, maybe you've only had your cup of coffee, your bulletproof coffee, and it's time to work out, you go and work out and you are encouraging your body to go find something called glycogen. Glycogen is stored glucose. So that is sugar. We've talked about this a lot on here. That is sugar that your body stored years ago. So it stores this sugar in the liver, in your skeletal muscles, and in your fat. So when you work out fasted, you are going after that stored sugar. So if you have extra weight to lose, this is a really good idea because this is a way of us getting your body to get to that stored sugar. Now, let's juxtapose that to what if you have a protein shake before you work out? And you go and you drink a protein drink and then you go and work out. That would be immediate sugar. Right? And when I say sugar, I don't mean like, again, a dessert. It's just anything that raises your blood sugar. So if you immediately bring up sugar, which is called glucose, if you bring those glucose levels up, when you go to work out, your body's going to use that glucose for energy, and it's not going after the glycogen. So one of the greatest tips that I can give you, especially if you're trying to lose weight, is to work out in a fasted state. I mean, this is what most of our resetters do. Now, there's a few caveats to that. One is, what if you're on a 3-day water fast? Okay, well, you've been already fasting for a while and you've been forcing your body to go after stored sugar. So going and working out the 2nd day or 3rd day into a 3-day water fast, not a great idea. That is putting too much stress on the body. But if you're intermittent fasting 15 hours, if you're autophagy fasting 17, 24 hours, and you work out in a fasted state, it is an incredible way to get after that stored sugar and to get your body lean. So I love using it as a weight loss tool. Second thing, what if you want to combine that idea with building muscle? And this happens to a lot of us as we fast. We start to lean out, and now we're like looking at our body and we're like, hey, I want to build some muscle. So remember that the best way to build muscle is through a process called metabolic switching. So we've talked about this on here, that you're not always meant to be a sugar burner. You're not always meant to be a fat burner. It's the in and out of these two states that make a big difference. So here's how I like to use metabolic switching with our Academy members. We've done a lot of customizing of these types of principles for people in our Academy. So this is how we do it. One day you go into like autophagy fasting, where you are fasting 17 hours, you're keeping your protein under 20 grams, so you're in the state of autophagy. On that day, maybe you don't really work out hard, you might go for a walk. You can still move around, but that wouldn't be like a tough workout day. The next day, you do protein building, and we consider that a feast day, where every couple of hours you're doing like 20 grams of protein and you're stimulating something called mTOR. Autophagy is going to be, think of autophagy in this scenario as the thing that will lean you out. Think of mTOR as the thing that will build muscle. So on an autophagy day, you're doing light exercise. Next day, you go into this protein building. Maybe you only fast 13, 15 hours max. And every couple of hours, you're doing protein. And now what you're doing is you're building up mTOR. And at the same time, I would encourage you to do a heavy workout in a fasted state. So you want to do a big workout, especially a muscle building workout on that day. So any strength training would be on that day. Then the next day, you could do autophagy. And you could plan your muscle building efforts, your workouts that are the most heavy on the muscles, build them on these days where you are doing protein building. You can do intermittent fasting, but on the other days, do autophagy, where you're leaning yourself out. This switching in and out is the key to building muscle. And I've talked about this on other videos before, and I really want to bring it to your attention, because we get stuck in this belief system that like, oh, if autophagy is great, leans me out, I should just stay like that. But that's not how you build muscle. That's not how you build health. You build health and muscle by switching in and out of these two states. So step number 2 is, if you want to work out and build muscle, do it the way I just told you. Step number 3, and I learned this from Thomas Daylauer, so I got to give him a shout out, because we brought him in for our reset experience. We brought him in to do a master class for our Academy members, and he had a great hack for working out. And I love it. So here's his hack. His hack is he works out in a fasted state, then he builds muscle. He does a big, heavy muscle workout, and then immediately following his workout, he will eat protein only. So he won't have carbs, he won't have fat. And he says that that's one way of maximizing mTOR. So we've been playing with that in our Academy with really good results, especially with menopausal and postmenopausal women. And we've added in some of my favorite different types of exercise. One of them right now is not only HIIT training. We've been doing HIIT training for a while, but we're using BFR bands, which are like bands that you use on your arms and legs that are blood flow restriction. So now you can combine all of these principles together and use fasting to be able to lean you out, use metabolic switching to be able to get you in and out, or get you building protein and get your muscles growing. And then you can use the ending after your workout with protein to be able to make sure that you get your muscle at its peak. Make sense? So let me just recap that for you guys in a second. So working out in a fasted state, awesome, unless it's a 3-day water fast. It's going to go after glycogen stores. Really good for leaning your body out and losing weight. Second thing, if you want to build muscle, you need to have days where you're going in autophagy, and then you need to work on building muscle on your protein building days. Third thing, if you want to continue to build muscle, make sure that you break your recovery part of your workout. Make sure you're doing it with protein. So this is really cool, because this is where we start to hack in all these principles, and you can really maximize your efforts, and you can really tap into a healing power that gets you more bang for your buck in your workout. So that's my skinny on fasting in a workout state. If you guys want to know what this looks like in action, you need more help, we have a new reset coming up. It's called a Forever Immune Reset. What I did is I combined all the principles I taught on my channel last year about immunity. I combined our Forever Young reset, and I combined our fat burning reset for a 19-day experience that will teach you exactly things like what I just talked about. It will teach you how to keep your immune system up, and it'll teach you how to burn fat and slow aging down. So brand new reset is called Forever Immune. And if you want to be a part of it, just put Forever Immune in the comments and we will make sure that we get you a link and get you invited in. So, but as always, fasting's so cool. And we combine it with some of these other principles, you can take your health to a whole new level. Hope it helps.